Right, because the numbers are pretty self-explanatory, right? He's in the twilight of a very long career, and I think that a leader such as Justin Trudeau, whose main knock against him is going to be lack of experience, I think he's got a deputy leader just cut perfectly for the role. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Almost a mentor figure. Someone who's got like his abilities in Parliament are phenomenal. He has an incredible intellect. He's a good man. You can tell that. Like, he doesn't give me the Stephen Harper feeling or the greasy politician feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's
Well,
just
even just in making the decision the way he made it, they've often described him as a man of honor. So.
Yeah. And I really like Bob Rae. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I think that well, let's put it this way. He can't do much better than he is right now, right? Like, with Bob Rae as leader, they're not polling any better than they were with Michael Ignatieff as leader. So that tells you everything you need to know.
True.
So really, what kind of future would the Liberal Party have to look forward to with Bob Rae as leader? I think the polls tell it right now. I think Mulcair's having a bit of a honeymoon, so you could expect a few percentage points to slide from him to the Liberals again. But the thing is, that doesn't pull them out of their deep third place hole that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I think that it's good for the party that and of course we don't know if Justin Trudeau is running yet, but I know that he is because Bob Rae dropped out, and that's only the one thing that could make him drop out. Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. If Justin Trudeau doesn't run at this point, I think that the candidates that the Liberal Party will field will be lacking.
Terrible.
Not to say that it's not to say that any of them don't deserve to be considered or aren't quality parliamentarians themselves. It's just that none of them seem to have the full package.
Right.
So unless you get and Justin Trudeau has his own criticisms, like you said, of inexperience and youth and things like that, but at least he has charisma and of course his name, and that brings up a lot of questions too. Though you wonder how much ammo will that give Stephen Harper. And would Stephen Harper be willing to go down that road and attack him based on dynastic levels?
Yeah. See, it's a double-edged sword. He's gonna win some, and he's gonna lose some based on his last name for sure. But I read a really cool article recently, and basically starts off by asking, if this guy's name was Joe Smith, would not this whole party be rallying for him to run anyway? You know what I mean? Like
that's a good question. I don't know, because I think a lot of it does have to do with his name. It's
if you just disregard his name, take a look at the person, the package, the message, and everything that comes with it, like his background, and then say, wouldn't this be your front runner as Liberal Party leader? To me, yes. Like, name or not, like, I think he's the best guy. And he's got star power. He's got charisma. He frames his message in such a way as to inspire hope and optimism. This is something we're not getting from anybody else in the country right now. Nobody is actually is providing a message of hope. And this is where if the NDP is not careful, a Justin Trudeau-led Liberal Party is gonna be a real big problem for them.
So. Here's a question for you. What about if or when Justin Trudeau does announce that he's going to run as a Liberal a person to put their name forward for the Liberal leader? Do you think that the Liberals will consider to move that date forward at any point? Because I mean, it's still over. Isn't it a year or more before the actual leadership convention?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. They'll move it forward for sure. They have to.
It just seems so far off in the distance. It almost seemed like when the NDP leadership race was going on, that people forgot about how distant the Liberal leadership, and that could have been due to Bob Rae's competence too. Between his competence and the focus on the NDP leadership race, no one was even talking or thinking about the Liberal leadership race. And now that the NDP has picked their leader and the Liberals are a year off, it just seems too distant for me to imagine them keeping that date.
You know what, Mike? I want to think a little bit more about the question you just asked, and I want to retract my original answer, but I want some time to think about it. Do you mind
Sure.
if we go to a musical break and come back?
Yeah, let's play a tune.
Yeah, let's play Swinging Bridge by the Congos off their Swinging Bridge album.
Na, 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 na. Oh, yeah. The swinging bridge, you know it's rock and roll. Up on the ridge, you gotta take control. The swinging bridge, you gotta rock and roll. Up on the ridge, you gotta take control. Take control. Before you lose your girl, take control. Before you lose your soul. Oh yeah, now. Life is a very, very serious thing. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Don't throw away a stick before you cross the river. No, 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 no. Don't burn your bridge even when you cross over. Oh, yeah. Sometime you gotta spin your road. Yeah. Before you start and lock and fold. Now. Sometime you gotta pray a little harder so you can tell it to the Father. Sometime you gotta work a little harder so you can take it to the water. Now the longest liver see the most. Yeah, even living from pillar to post. Now. So don't you take no overdose, yeah, or even take it for a joke. Now, the swinging bridge you're gonna rock and roll. Up on the ridge you gotta take control. The swinging bridge you're gonna rock and roll. Up on the ridge you gotta take control, take control. Before you lose your hold, take control. Before you lose your soul. Hey, now. Na, 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 na. Whoa, whoa, whoa. The swinging bridge you're gonna rock and roll. Up on the ridge you gotta take control. The swinging bridge you're gonna rock and roll. Up on the ridge you gotta take control, take control. Before you lose your ground, take control. Before you lose your soul. Yeah, now, now. The swinging bridge you're gonna rock and roll. Up on the ridge you're gonna take control. The swinging bridge you're gonna rock and roll. Up on the ridge you gotta take control.
And that was the Congos with Swinging Bridge. Mike, how you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay, well, I thought about it. I did some more thinking, and I've decided that I don't think that just because Justin Trudeau is going to run for the leadership race and he's going to have an easy path, I would believe. I don't think that necessarily means that they move their convention up. You know why?
Why is that?
Because this might be a good idea. They've got a very capable leader in place right now, just in terms of doing the job in Parliament, keeping the party, on message, pumping, resisting the Harper agenda. Basically, they carried the heavy weight for a lot of this first year and a bit of Stephen Harper's term, right? Because what happened with Layton and then Nicole Turmel really not living up to any kind of expectations whatsoever, and Mulcair, he's hasn't exactly been doing a lot of media, since then. I haven't
No, it's
seen
true.
much of him, man.
Or
to be
when they
honest.
do cover him, it's one
Yeah.
of two things: either they want to talk about his commentary on Dutch disease, or they want to talk about how much he owes on his
Yeah.
house.
So exactly, what the hell was that? Eh? Anyway,
Yeah. But anyways,
it's not like the NDP where they had an emergency. Better put someone in place that can do this job ASAP. You know what I mean? Basically, Bob Ray is very capable. He's gonna be at the helm here until they have. I'll just go on and say it. Justin Trudeau is going to be their leader. He's going to run. I believe this. I've always believed it, and now it's just the evidence is overwhelming. You know, especially since he's recently recanted on his original decision not
that
to
he's
run.
he's acknowledged that he's at least thinking about it.
Yeah. He's well, for a guy who's just thinking about it, he's doing a lot of fundraising, you know. And anyway, so with Bob Ray at the helm, they can afford to keep Justin Trudeau on the road for the next year at least, going from riding to riding to riding, putting his organization in place. That's the work that the leader needs to do. You know what I mean? Like he was here in my riding last week, about a week and a half ago maybe, and
Justin Trudeau or
Justin,
Bob Ray?
Justin Trudeau.
Okay.
And he, Anthony Rota was the guy here who lost by 18 votes to Jay Aspin amidst all of this election fraud and robocalling and stuff like that. And so Justin Trudeau held a fundraiser with Anthony Rota. Anthony Rota took him all over town and meeting and greeting people. Took him to coffee shops. Took him everywhere for photo
That
ops.
also indicates that Anthony Rota looks like he's ready to run next time around too, eh?
That's what that means to me. You know.
Yeah, that's good. That's good news too.
A lot of absolutely. Anthony Rota's fantastic. He was the House Leader under Paul Martin. He's an incredibly capable MP and parliamentarian. You know, so that's great. I think that we get Nipissing back with Justin Trudeau at the helm for sure, and Anthony Rota running. And but my point is that Justin Trudeau was here. He was building up Anthony Rota. He was raising money for the Liberal Party. He was energizing the people that are dedicated to the party in this riding. And if a guy like that goes from riding to riding to riding all over this country and puts their organization back in line, energizes the membership, makes them feel like, yes, we can win this. We can come back.
At the very least, Justin Trudeau should be able to reinvigorate Liberals at least.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
that seems sensible.
There's a whole bunch of people that fled from the Liberals to the right. I'm hoping that they can get them back. You know what I mean? And of course, at the end of the day, I still don't think that either the NDP or Liberals can beat the Conservatives without cooperating on some level.
And I'm glad you broached that topic, because I think that's something that now needs to be talked about through the lens of the Liberal Party leadership race. Will there be somebody from the Liberals who's going to come out with a Nathan Cullen-like proposal? And then I guess the second part would be, where does Justin Trudeau stand on that whole idea? Is he going to, if he were to become the party leader, is he going to be in the same line or the same vein as Mulcair, where he essentially puts that aside and says, I'm here to collect votes under the Liberal banner? So there's some serious questions there too, because the Liberal leadership race needs to come to a head before we can actually figure all that stuff out, as far as opposition party cooperation and what kind of forms it might take.